We have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queens.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I won't always smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my.
Okay, so we got your application, and Everything seems great. Everything is great.
Yeah.
But one thing is, it seems like you forgot to fill out the race. If you didn't fill that part
I'm
out.
sorry. That must have slipped my mind. Yeah,
Oh.
I must have forgot to fill that out. My apologies.
Oh yeah, I see. But what's your race? Just so I can get that last part for the.
Now that I'm thinking about it, what does it matter, right? Like, it's kind of outdated on applications, isn't it? Like, what's the point for it? If it don't pertain to the job, I don't really see why it matters. Like, everybody's the same, right?
Yeah. But okay, all right. Yeah, I was about to just watch some TV, watch some sports. You watch any sports?
Yeah, I like a few sports.
Oh yeah, what sports? What sports do you like?
Football, hockey, baseball.
Nice. Yeah, I was about to make some dinner. What about you? What you had for dinner?
Yeah, I actually had some spaghetti made.
How long was it made? A few days, a week, couple weeks. Huh?
I actually made it today.
Convenient. Okay. You have a favorite music genre?
I like a few genres. Classical, jazz, hip hop, pop, rock.
Let's signal in on the hip hop. Who do you think is the best rapper of all time? Who's the best? Come on, let's hear it, man.
I have to say Eminem.
Oh, really? You sure you don't want to choose Biggie or Tupac? What about them?
Nope, has to be Eminem. I just think he's best rapper overall.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm not going to use up any more of your time. You have a good day.
Okay, you too. Listen, I can explain.
It's going to be a no for us. I'm sorry.
Okay, he was clearly trying to find out, asking all those questions, are you black or not? Okay, then asking about the spaghetti, because y'all already know that black folk keep leftovers longer than most. Okay. And we don't tend to change the batteries on those smoke detectors very often. Also crazy. All right, so hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your Daily Vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, hello, Black Queen Jax, Bithia's in the house, Juju B, the Prince of Paraphernalia, Locked Vegan, Terry Hidden, Darnell. All right, Al Khalifa. Okay, Miss Cookie is here. Missions Visions. All Hell Nah is in the house. Vince I Am from the UK. All right, so let's get into it. Deronda, Jeff ATL, Claudette, Sweet D, Miss Lucia, okay, and Nessa G, OG Patrice is in the house. Okay, so let's get into it. This is sad news. Now, we just had the incident with Sonya Massey I've been talking about, and I'll have some more information on that momentarily. But also, there is a Black man, 36-year-old veteran, who lost his life. He was having a mental health crisis, and he knew that he needed help, and he called to get help, and instead, he was beaten and killed. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. You're going to kill me. Black Army veteran seeking help with mental health crisis was beaten, shocked by Texas cops until he took his last breath in the back of the patrol car, according to a lawsuit filed by his family. Michael Thompson had broken no law when he entered a 7-Eleven convenience store and asked the clerk to call 911 on his behalf because he was suffering, having a mental episode. But El Paso police arrived and killed the 36-year-old father of two, and who was also a U.S. Army veteran. This is also sad and egregious. Like, this stuff continues to happen. And that's him right there. Please pay attention. So now Thompson's mother, Barbara Thompson, has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against El Paso police and several other defendants, including Exxon Enterprise, the company that sells tasers to law enforcement agencies, marketing it as less than lethal. Okay, because that's not true. It isn't less than lethal because people lose their lives by these tasers. Okay, some people die from being tased. So at the end of the day, they're not less than lethal. Okay, so that's good that she's suing them as well. All right, because that's false advertisement. Now, the incident took place on June the 27th of 2022 as Thompson was walking down a public street after midnight in the direction of the 7-Eleven. Walking past a 24-hour Walmart, there was an off-duty police officer from Texas Tech University, okay, who was working security. Now, although Thompson was not breaking any law, Texas Tech police officer Jesus Cobos decided to stalk him, making Thompson even more paranoid because remember, he's already having a mental episode, okay, a mental health crisis. Now, according to the lawsuit filed in the 41st Judicial District Court in El Paso on June the 27th, exactly 2 years after his death. Now, they say on the night of his death, Thompson entered the 7-Eleven store and asked the clerk to call 911, and the clerk noticed that he was experiencing visual and auditory hallucinations. Okay, the clerk's call to dispatch was made at approximately 12:50 a.m. and was described as a welfare check. El Paso police officer Dominique Guerrero was the first to arrive on the scene, and rather than the medical personnel, okay, which should have come first. Now, he says, "You look like a thug and you're going to kill me." This is what Thompson said to Guerrero after the officer arrived. Thompson responded by restraining Thompson. Okay, that's a typo. It should say Guerrero responded by restraining Thompson and placing him in a prone position and laying his full body weight on him. Now, El Paso, now why would he do all of this? He was likely mad because the man said, "You look like a thug and you're going to kill me." Now, that's discernment because he was a thug and he did kill him. Please pay attention. Now, it goes on to say, El Paso police officer John Spencer then arrived and began tasering Thompson as Guerrero laid on top of him, forcing his face to the ground, according to the lawsuit. Now, once they had placed him into the back of the patrol car, Spencer continued shocking Thompson by holding the taser directly against his body while the other cops, including Cobos, beat and choked him. What was all of this for? Why was this even necessary? This man was having a mental health crisis and simply wanted the police to come to his aid and to help him. Now, you see how that turned out, and you see how it turned out with Sonya Massey. And of course, there's a myriad of other times these things have happened. Okay, please pay attention. So they beat and choked and tasered him and then laid on top of it. Now, several other El Paso police officers arrived and are listed on the lawsuit as defendants, along with the three above mentioned, including Thomas Sneed, Michael Arias, Alonzo Martinez, and Aaron Johnston, okay, who joined in either holding Mr. Thompson down or failing to intervene the unreasonable striking, choking, and slamming that Mr. Thompson endured while he was on the ground and also while he was being tasered, okay, the taser causing the death of Mr. Michael Thompson. Now, eventually, Thompson stopped breathing while handcuffed in the back of the patrol car. Mind you, while he's handcuffed and in the back of the patrol car, why are they continuing the assault on him, this vicious attack? Okay, this makes no sense. Now, then either the cops or paramedics administered him a dose of Narcan, okay, which is only supposed to be used on people experiencing an opioid overdose. Now, there was 2 autopsies and they're contradicting one another. Okay, 2 autopsy reports described his death as a homicide. However, the autopsy conducted by the El Paso County Medical Examiner's Office blamed his death, pay attention, on high levels of meth in his system. But the lawsuit states that it is an impossibility to die both from intoxication and by homicide. Okay, the latter, which is defined in the Merriam-Webster dictionary as the killing of one human by another. Now, the second autopsy, paid for by the family and conducted by the Nebraska Institute of Forensic Science, determined the cause of death to be a result of police restraint asphyxia. Okay, basically positional asphyxia. Okay, like the same thing in the case of George Floyd. Use of a taser deployment as well, and multiple blunt force trauma with complications. Okay, because they were beating this man really bad. Okay, from the sounds of it. Now, the lawsuit accuses the El Paso County Medical Examiner's Office of conspiring with police to distort the cause of death by implicating that Mr. Thompson died due to intoxication and homicide, which is impossible. It had to be one or the other. Okay, they want to try to blame it on the fact that they were saying he took took illegal substances. That's the same thing they tried to say with George Floyd, or that they did in fact say. Now, delayed response from paramedics. Now, the lawsuit states the paramedics from the El Paso Fire Department didn't arrive on the scene until 1:11 a.m. That's a full 21 minutes after the initial call to dispatch, okay, and did not transport Thompson to the hospital until 1:36 a.m. Okay, that's like 40 minutes right there. Okay, a doctor's note stated, saying apparently he had an altercation with police and was tased one time, as well as hit in the leg 4 times with some other type of instrument. It helps to hold him down. He apparently was handcuffed and placed in the back of the police car. EMS was called in, and on arrival, they saw the patient become unresponsive and apparently suffered a cardiopulmonary arrest after they arrived. Okay, there was some question that the patient was given Narcan, but it was unclear exactly why or when and by whom it was given. Now, on arrival to the emergency department, patient was undergoing chest compressions with a mechanical assist device. Now, the custodial death report. The custodial death report filed by the Texas Attorney General's office on June 28th of 2022 lists the type of offense committed by Thompson as medical/mental health assistance call, and provides the following description from the perspective of the police, acknowledging that paramedics arrived only after being called by police who had tasered him repeatedly. Now, on June the 27th of 2022, the El Paso, and this is what it says in the report, the El Paso Police Department patrol officers responded to 5830 Dyer 711 in El Paso, Texas, in reference to a welfare check. A subject or decedent walked into the 7-Eleven and met with the clerk. The subject exhibited signs of mental distress and appeared to be experiencing visual and auditory hallucinations. Now, at the subject's request, the police were called by the clerk. The patrol officers met with the subject, who continued to act erratic. Now, it was determined that the subject met the requirements of an emergency detection order. The subject was resisted. I'm sorry, this is a typo. The subject resisted the officer's attempts to restrain him, which led to the subject being tased. The subject was placed in handcuffs and placed in the back seat of a patrol car. Now, medical assistance was called for the subject due to the tasing. While medical services were present at the scene, the subject experienced a medical episode and stopped breathing. Medical services began life-saving techniques and transported the subject to University Medical Center. The subject was pronounced deceased at 01:47 hours by Dr. Patek. Now, the custodial death report also says Thompson attempted to injure law enforcement personnel, but all evidence suggests that he was only seeking medical help, and was trying to avoid interacting with police who had no reasonable suspicion that he had committed any crime. Now, Officer Guerrero's statement, this is what he says. On June 29th of 2022, 2 days after Thompson's death, Guerrero provided a voluntary statement to investigators explaining that he had come into contact with Thompson about 15 minutes before the incident, and he appeared perfectly normal, he says. Now, the officer said Thompson told him he was walking home and simply advised Thompson to remain on the sidewalk and went on his way. By then, 15 minutes later, he said Thompson was not in the right state of mind as he had been earlier when I talked to him. And he was very paranoid and did not recognize me as a police officer, even though I was wearing my full blue police uniform with an EPPD badge and duty belts. Now, Guerrero said Thompson was standing in the doorway of the 7-Eleven when he arrived, and also provided the officer with his full name and date of birth. But then he became paranoid and began walking away from the officer, telling the cop, "You look like a thug and you're going to kill me." Guerrero said he tried to assure Thompson that he wanted to help him, not hurt him, but Thompson ended up dying anyway. Yeah, I'm sure that's how it went. I'm so sure that's how it went. Okay, please pay attention. This is all so crazy. Okay, now he's saying that he assured him he was there to help, but he ended up dying anyway. Pay attention to the words. He ended up dying anyway. No, he was killed anyway. He didn't just die. He was beaten and tased until he died. That's what that was. And they leaned and laid upon him and pressed their weight on him. Okay, this is all so nefarious. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. And so now the family is suing, but the family sues El Paso over veterans' death in custody, claims excessive force and neglect. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this video. Everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm going to also put an overlay on here. Here we go. This is all so sad and egregious. These things just continue to happen. Just continue to happen. But they don't want to give us a hate crime bill, and we need one to protect us from the police as well. Okay, because this was also unnecessary.
The family of an El Paso veteran who died 2 years ago after a police encounter is now filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of El Paso. Today, Michael Thompson's mother and daughters were joined by their attorneys on the anniversary of his death on June 27, 2022. Thompson was reportedly hallucinating when he walked into a convenience store in northeast El Paso and asked the clerk to call police for help. The police report states Thompson wouldn't listen to the officer who approached him and kept resisting when officers tried to take him into custody. They said for his safety because he was acting erratically. His family claims the officers also beat and choked Thompson and believe he was denied medical care, which led to his death.
He was a threat to no one and nobody, and he humbled himself as a man and reached out and said, "Help me." And he is not here today to tell his story.
There were 2 autopsies performed on Thompson's body. The El Paso County coroner determined he died as a result of the tasing, along with methamphetamine use and heart disease. The family then had an autopsy performed by a Nebraska forensics lab, which stated Thompson's death was caused by the tasing, along with blunt force trauma and a lack of medical care. CBS 4 asked the city of El Paso for a comment on the lawsuit, but so far there's been no response.
Yeah, so far there's been no response, and we don't have to wonder why. Okay, they absolutely took this man's life, and it was also unnecessary. And the thing is, it's really sad that the police don't know how to deal with people that are in medical crisis. How many stories of this do we have to hear? Someone calls and they're having a medical episode or a mental health issue, and this is what happens. I believe that cop got triggered because of what Michael Thompson said to him, telling him, "You're a thug and you're here to kill me." And that's exactly what he did. So he wasn't lying. So, my condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones. May he rest in peace. This is all very sad. And like I told you, this is a veteran, okay? Someone who protected and defended this country. And this is what happens, okay? So anyway, and then pay attention to how they want to talk about heart disease and meth use and all of that. This is what they always conveniently say when the police take someone's life, even if a person was on illegal substances using meth or whatever, so they conveniently die when the police are attacking them. Let's just call it what it is. The police beat that man and tased him to death. Okay. And if he did in fact have heart disease, tasing him absolutely would exasperate that, because that that is known to cause malfunctions in the heart. Okay, please pay attention. Your heart runs on electricity. Okay. So anyway, with that all being said, let's talk about Sean Grayson, the nefarious thug who took the life of Sonya Massey. Sean Grayson, officer charged in Sonya Massey's shooting, had disciplinary record. He was acting like a bully. Okay. He was acting like a bully. And I told you all that days ago that he was a whole bully. Sean P. Grayson, the now fired Illinois sheriff's deputy charged with fatally shooting 36-year-old Sonya Massey in her home, had a disciplinary file that included accusations of bullying behavior and abuse of power, according to records. Okay, they say he was acting like a bully. This is what Gerard Police Chief Wayman Meredith said over the phone, recalling an alleged incident last year when he says an enraged Grayson was pressuring him to call Child Protective Services on a woman outside of Grayson's mother's home. He was wanting me to do stuff that was not kosher, he says. Now, newly released audio recordings obtained by CBS News also show superior officers were warned about Grayson's nefarious behavior. So in a recording released by the Logan County Sheriff's Office, where Grayson worked from May of 2022 to April of 2023, a supervising officer is heard admonishing Grayson for what the senior officer said was his lack of integrity for lying on his reports, okay, and for what he called official misconduct. Okay, so let's listen to it. because someone did a TikTok video about this and they played the audio. So I'm going to play that. And also they talk about him stalking a couple of women. Okay, please pay attention. This is all nefarious.
I told y'all this man has been a menace from the day that he started, from the army, probably up into his teenage years, and then even in high school. That's going to come out also. Just letting you guys know. But this guy has been a menace. He was acting as a bully, and he's had a problem and an issue all throughout his life. I'm not going to say just his law enforcement career, but his life. They released a recording down by the Logan County Sheriff's Office where Grayson, he worked from 2022 in May all the way up to April 2023. His supervisor is getting on to him. Yes, his supervisor is getting on because his lack of integrity, his lying on reports and everything, and official misconduct.
Will not tolerate lying and deception.
New audio recordings from the Logan County, Illinois Sheriff's Office reveal Grayson was reprimanded in November 2022 for writing false information in his police reports.
7 months on. How are you still employed by us? I don't know.
State records show Grayson resigned in April 2023 and was hired by Sangamon County 3 days later. And defense officials tell CBS News that in 2016, Grayson was discharged for misconduct from the Army after he was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol, one of 2 DUI charges on his record.
Like I said in all my other videos, why did this man still have a job? There's going to be a whole lot more that comes out regarding him. Like I already told you guys on my TikTok live, where 2 people have come forward, inboxed me and told me how he was stalking them, how he mistreated them. One woman he was dating, and she was DV'd by him, but also stalked. There was another woman he had no dealings with, didn't even know her, but he stalked her. So this guy's a menace. He's a menace and everything, and a lot more is getting ready to come out. I promise you, it's getting ready to come out all the way back to his youth. All right, but he's been an issue. He's been a problem. He never should have been hired at all. Never. Ever should have been hired at all, because they saw he was a problem. But it seems like this is the norm, where they hire people like him right here, because what? You have well-qualified people out here who have sense, have the psychology to be able to be an officer, but you're not hiring those type of people. You're hiring people out here who are being menaces and unaliving people, especially like this right here. Why? Because you got evil in your heart. And I'm going to say this again that I've been saying from the very beginning. When Sonya said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," immediately that menace grabbed his weapon. I want you to catch this, all right? Because you're watching the Bible play out. She said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Immediately he grabbed his weapon and he said, "You better not." Had nothing to do with the pot, had nothing to do with anything else. That demon rose up and it said, "You better not rebuke me. You better not use that name." You need to catch that. Go watch it again. Immediately he grabbed his weapon as soon as she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." This is a spiritual thing, has nothing to do with flesh, but that evil that is in his heart leaks from his heart, spills from his lips, and permeates from his flesh. Justice for Sonya Massey.
Okay, so you all heard that out here, stalking people, and DV, that means domestic violence. Okay, they don't really want you saying that on TikTok. But at the end of the day, this man's very egregious, and the notion that his soon-to-be grandmother had the nerve to come out the other day going off on the protesters, if you recall, when I told you about that, and she's asking, don't we think about his family and his fiance? No, we don't care about them or him. Please make it all make sense. Okay, but anyway, here's what a police officer had to say about this entire situation.
Hey guys, some of y'all have tagged me and some of you have messaged me for my take on the incident that happened in Springfield, Illinois, and my take is this. Miss Sonya Massey had some things going on. That night it appeared Miss Massey needed help, but instead Miss Massey was murdered. That's my short take on it. Cut and dry. She was murdered by a thug that had a badge and gun and an evil spirit. The longer version is, I watched this video. I had to rewatch it to make sure I saw what I thought I saw the first time, and it really bothered me, as I know it bothered you if you've seen it. I fast forwarded to the part right before he shot, put my ear to the phone, closed my eyes. For some reason, I think I can hear better when I do that, to make sure I heard the back and forth like I thought I did. Let's rewind. First off, the guy that shot her was already a little ticked over asking her for her license, and she couldn't find it. First off, she didn't have to give him her license. She was in her home. In her home. There was no reason for her to give him her license. Fast forward, pot of water. His partner is the one that told her to go around there and get it. He's standing pretty close. Situational awareness. He backs up and moves off to the side, kind of chuckling about it. He didn't fear her, but he wasn't taking any chances at all. Completely understandable. She asks, "Where are you going?" He says, "Away from your hot, steaming water." Then she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." But she's not talking to that guy. She's looking at the guy that ends up shooting her. He says, "Huh?" She says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." This sets him off. I rewatched it. I listened. I rewatched it over and over. She is not trying to close the gap on him. She is not drawing back to throw the hot water on him. He goes off at being rebuked. I believe this wholeheartedly. Y'all can make fun of me if you want to. I believe this. What does he say? "You better effing not, or I swear to God, I will shoot you in the effing face." At which point, she's scared to death. Pot goes on the counter. Nothing in her hand. She cowers down, understandably. He saw her put the pot down. He keeps saying, "Drop the pot, drop the pot, drop the pot." She starts peeking back up. What does he do? Still nothing in her hands. Pot still on the counter. He follows through what he told her he was going to do. He shot her in the effing face. Murdered her. During the aftermath, does not administer aid, discourages his partner from administering aid, says on the radio, yeah, she's still breathing, but she's losing a lot of blood. No remorse. Nothing. This guy should have never been in law enforcement, and he deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life. Law enforcement failed Miss Massey that night. She needed help, but she got murdered instead. That's my take, guys. God bless.
All right, so shout out to that officer for keeping it real at the end of the day. And he said exactly what I said. For these people trying to paint the narrative that she picked up a pot and threw it at him, when you slow down the video and zoom in as much as you can, you see that she set the pot down, she had on oven mitts and ducked down. Okay, at the end of the day, he kept yelling, "Put down the pot, put the pot down," even though she didn't have the pot and he knew it. He saw her sit it down. Why was he saying, "Put the pot down"? He was saying that so he could use that as an excuse for why he shot her. But the real reason he shot her is, even as that officer said, because she rebuked him in the name of Jesus. Okay, he had an evil spirit upon him. That's what that was. Everything was fine until she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Okay, this is absolutely spiritual warfare. I just want you all to pay attention. At the end of the day, that demon got called out and didn't like it. And that was the reaction. That was the reaction. So please pay attention. It's all so crazy. But so anyway, Sean Grayson has been nefarious. And I don't know how in the world they basically have allowed him to work at all these different apartments? Okay, you have to take a psychological exam. And how did he pass it? Okay, I just have questions. Now, Massey is seen apologizing and ducking for cover, at which point Grayson opens fire. Okay, please pay attention. They didn't say she was throwing the pot of water. They didn't say she was trying to hurt him or harm him. It says, just like I told you already, that she's seen apologizing and ducking for cover. Okay? And that's when he shot her. 3 shots are heard in the video while she's ducking for cover, hands emptied, other than the oven mitts that she has. After the shooting, Grayson can be heard saying Massey was going to throw the hot water on him, which is not, absolutely not corroborated by the video. So these people out here trying to paint narratives and acting like he had a reason to do it, they're just full of crap. Okay, they're full of crap. Now, Grayson pleaded guilty to twice driving under influence, was kicked out of the army for being a whole bully and all these things. So please pay attention. At the end of the day, this man is nefarious and always has been. Okay? Has always been nefarious. I mean, he's likely had these demons for quite some time. All right. And so anyway, let's go on to the next story, because chaos erupts in court as teen girl accused of murder. Sucker punches U.S. Marshal during hearing on fatal beating of disabled man. Now, Washington, D.C. courtroom erupted after a teenage girl charged in connection with the fatal beating of a 64-year-old disabled man last year attacked a deputy U.S. Marshal during pretrial proceedings. This is the whole thug who raised her. Now, during the July 19th hearing, the 13-year-old defendant allegedly sucker punched the officer, leading to her arrest and removal on a stretcher. Officials did not disclose further details about the violent incident, but moments before the commotion, prosecutors accused the girl and 2 underage co-defendants of taking selfies after filming the attack that killed Reggie Brown on October the 17th of 2023. Now, they've killed this man and they're taking selfies? This is all wicked. Now, Brown, a frail man with physical disabilities who lived in Northwest D.C., was beaten to death allegedly by a group of young girls who chased him into an alley where he was beaten to death. I want you all to pay attention, because doesn't this go back to that other story that I just reported on the other day when the white woman was saying that she was attacked and beaten by a group of girls? Do you all remember that? And then I also told you there was another incident. Well, maybe I didn't tell you, but there was actually another incident from last year where a black woman was beaten by a group of girls. Now, all of these incidents occurred in Washington, D.C. So I find it absolutely egregious, and quite frankly, these have to be the same incidents or the same people carrying these out, or what do they have going on? I just have questions. But anyway, let me continue. So these are girls doing this, teen girls. That's very unusual, because usually you'd hear about males doing such things. Okay, it goes on to say that Brown, a frail man with physical disabilities who lived in Northwest D.C., was beaten to death allegedly by a group of young girls who chased him into an alley where he was beaten mercilessly. Now, before hitting the ground, Brown tried to escape by climbing a chain link fence, but his attackers pulled him down and stomped his head into the pavement until he stopped moving, according to police. What is going on with these people? Now, if that wasn't enough, the suspects also pulled the man's pants down around his ankles, removing his belt and beating him with it. The girls, barely old enough to be out alone, allegedly sauntered off into the night and celebrated themselves, leaving Brown in a pool of his own blood. This is all sick. This is demonic too. What is wrong with these kids? Now, mind you, the lady who I showed you the video of the other day, who said that they beat her and all of that stuff. Now, remember, she also said that they were laughing and acting like they were having such a good time as they kicked her and all of that. And at first I thought narratives were being painted, perhaps. But no, they are absolutely doing these attacks, because I did my research, and that's when I found that they were attacking multiple people. I believe it's the same group, okay? Different ones of the same group. That's what I think. And then also, like I said, there was a black lady that was attacked last year, okay, by a group of girls. So anyway, it goes on to say that the girls, barely old enough, ran off into the night laughing. Later, officers responded to the 6200 block of Georgia Avenue, where they found Brown suffering from multiple blunt force injuries. He died at the scene. Following an investigation, police arrested 3 girls, all between the ages of 12 and 13. During a court hearing in late March, police officials played video of the vicious attack, showing a man in a blue coat initially throwing Brown to the pavement before the other assaults pounced. So there was some man there who threw him to the ground initially, they say. Now, the 12-year-old recorded the beating on her cell phone. Now, one of the young suspects told police that two of them did not want to take part in the flogging, but was forced to after the unidentified man threatened to shoot them with a gun he flashed on his waist. But police have never confirmed whether Brown had a weapon. So they tried to say the man pulled a gun on them after the unidentified man threatened to shoot them with a gun that he flashed. I don't believe that. They were just beating this man for the hell of it. And here's the thing. If the man had a gun and they had to defend themselves, why were they laughing and continuously beating the man even after he was already down? Okay, please pay attention. These things are lying. Now, officials said previously that Brown was afflicted by severe health issues, including a metal plate in his head and only 2 fingers on each hand, rendering him powerless to defend himself. So even if he'd had a gun, how was he going to pull the trigger with 2 fingers on each hand? These lying devils. Now, one of the 13-year-old suspects was taken into custody on March 28th, while a second 13-year-old and a 12-year-old were apprehended the next day. None of the suspects had a criminal record at the time of Brown's death. Well, they got one now. The suspects have not been identified by authorities because of their age. However, both 13-year-olds were formally charged with second-degree murder during their initial hearing on March 29th, although they have not been charged as adults. Now, the 12-year-old girl faces charges after she was shot in the leg in an unrelated incident at her home in late March before she was arrested. The injury she sustained was not life-threatening. Now, in another twist, all 3 girls lived in the same suburb of Northwest DC as the victim, but there was no indication they ever crossed paths before the night Brown was slain. On the night of Brown's death, the detectives came upon a man's lifeless body in the middle of the night on Georgia Avenue. Now, an autopsy later determined Brown died as a result of a homicide, but no suspects emerged immediately despite video surveillance of the attack, which showed 3 girls kicking and stomping the defenseless man before walking away nonchalantly. So they want us to think he had a gun and pulled it on them, but after they beat him, they walk away nonchalantly. They didn't run. Okay, please pay attention. The 2 13-year-old girls were remanded to a secure youth facility, while the 12-year-old girl was set to appear before the judge the day after she was wounded in a separate shooting. Now, investigators said Brown's attackers didn't know him, leaving relatives struggling to make sense of the violence that claimed his life, saying, "My uncle really didn't deserve this." Okay, this is what his niece said. He was known in the community for years. So for this to happen where he lived for 64 years is insane. They have to be held accountable. Family members said Brown was a compassionate man who cared deeply about others and was always willing to help, even going so far as to give someone the shirt off his back. He was quiet. He was just quiet and a nice, polite person. He didn't bother anybody. That's the type of person he was. This is what a close family member said. Very sad. And then how you know that they are so wicked is that they had the nerve. One of them punched a U.S. Marshal in the courtroom. Okay, I want you all to think about that. Punched a U.S. Marshal in the courtroom. Yes, they are prone to violence, clearly. All right, and they started off early. Oh, so crazy. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, let's talk about this next story, because they had somebody going around slapping people on the beach. Get effing moving. One California homeowner curses out family, including a young child. Another slaps beachgoer's phone in 2 separate incidents, claiming beach is private property. Y'all already know who's doing this. Some California beachfront homeowners are being criticized online for claiming beach areas near their homes are private property and telling people to stay off their land. And y'all know this is Karens, okay? I showed you a video of this, I do believe, a couple of weeks ago, where a Karen was out there harassing these black folk, telling them the beach is private and they can't be there. Oh, so crazy. Okay, now due to the 1976 California Coastal Act, which gives residents access to the state beaches, people are chiming in on the validity of the claims made in 2 recent TikTok videos. Now, the separate incidents showing the homeowners telling people to stay off their property went viral. Okay, now in the first video, a woman at Laguna Beach's Victoria Beach yells and curses at the family. Okay. Oh, so crazy. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
There goes the fence. Just because of people like whatever I want to see. Get fucking moving. I'm not joking around. That's not a thing. It's not harassment on the beach. It's harassment in my home property. Whoa. Get out of here. Now.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're angry for no reason.
Bet I'm angry. This is not an Instagram moment, place. You're in my property. Get moving now. Now you're in my property line. Move it.
Ma'am, we're fucking walking.
Pretty fucking slow.
Jesus Christ.
Don't use the word PhD.
Shut the fuck up. Come on, Ethan. Yeah, because you're not any better. Come on, Ethan. Right there, Ethan.
Man, I wish TikTok would do this. Karen of the week.
Go, boys.
Okay, so you all saw Karen coming out there being so rude and disrespectful in front of the woman's child. She didn't have to say all that. She could have just asked them nicely to leave. But no, Karens will be Karens. So anyway, goes on to say, now the woman's yelling at the family, which includes a young boy, and tells them to get off her property. When she mentions a fence, the boy points and says, "There's no fence." And as you could see, there wasn't. Okay, there was no fence. So anyway, the woman who is recording agrees and says, "Yeah, that's what happens when you're angry." Okay, we heard all of that. And now, then there's a second video. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. I'm going to share my screen.
Look at this lie. One big ass lie. Private? This ain't private, bro. This is the sand. This is free land. Anybody can be here. That's why I'm set up right there. It's a scam. A Karen scam. I'm gonna be an asshole and I'm gonna put you on social media. You just attacked me. You just attacked me by grabbing my phone. You're taking pictures of me without my permission. On public property, I could do that. First, Second Amendment. Look, I can't wait to post this, you fucking piece of shit. Watch.
Okay, I just want you all to pay attention. Clearly racist. Okay, that's what that is. That's why they did all of that. Just a whole hot mess. Please pay attention. And then the nerve of him to try to slap the person's phone out of their hand and say, "You're taking pictures of me without my permission." Honey, when you're in public, nobody needs your permission to take your pictures or to video record you, okay? This is what these Karens and Kens always have to say. This is what they always do. So as you can see, very rude, okay, and very nefarious. Please pay attention. This is all crazy. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now let's talk about this woman who dumped a child in a ditch. Okay, let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm going to share my screen because this woman dumped a whole child in a ditch. This is all so sad. Natty said where he said Karen scam. Okay, that's exactly what it is. Please pay attention.
I had did that.
Tonight, we start with new information on the Lake Charles mother accused of abandoning and killing one of her children near Vinton. Good evening, I'm Morgan Babineau. Ahmadiyyah Jack, the mother accused of abandoning her children July 8th, is back in custody in Louisiana. In an exclusive interview with KPLC's Stephanie Obadiku, Jack made a shocking confession.
On July 8th, as the outer bands of Hurricane Beryl rained down on southwest Louisiana, a passerby discovered the body of a 4-year-old in the choppy water behind the Louisiana Welcome Center in Vinton. The next day, a 1-year-old baby was found crawling towards Interstate 10. The boy's mother, Ahmadiyyah Jack, was arrested in Mississippi and now faces charges of second-degree murder, failure to report a missing child, and cruelty. Jack was brought back to Calcasieu Parish today. That's when our cameras caught up with her.
Ahmadiyyah, what happened to your children that day?
I had that to them.
Why did you leave your baby on the interstate?
I'm not sure. I was under the influence of drugs.
Did you kill your son?
Yeah.
The 25-year-old mother admitted to leaving her baby and killing her oldest child, claiming that she was under the influence at the time of the crimes. In Lake Charles, Stephanie Obadiku, 7 News.
Jack is now in custody at the Calcasieu Correctional Center, and her bond is set at $9.1 million.
This is all so sad. Condolences to the family who cared about the children, okay? Who cared about that little boy and then left the baby on the interstate. This is all so crazy. I don't know what's going on with people. It seems like a lot of people have demons, okay? I don't know what's going on here. Does this have anything to do with the venom? Because I have several questions. We've seen an uptick in parents, inflicting harm upon their children and even taking their lives. This is like rising at a rapid rate. Very disturbing. Okay, very disturbing. Once again, rest in peace to the 4-year-old and prayers and condolences for the family. Okay, at the end of the day, and that lady probably has, I don't know if she has mental health issues, but she seems to have a serious problem with illegal substances if it led her to do something so nefarious. Okay, please pay attention. Yeah, it is crazy, Neon Black. It absolutely is. Okay, Trisha said under the influence of what? Okay, it's something with demonic energy, period. Okay, so now with that all being said, I want you all to hear this. I want you all to hear this video. This Black woman is going in on Black women, and some of y'all deserve it. Please pay attention. Sophie said, yes, Queen, and a lot has become very unhinged. Yes, absolutely, beloved. Okay, so now listen. M. Shanty said it comes from their parents' homes and environment. I know this firsthand, working in human services for over 35 years. Really? Okay. Okay, Byron B said it seems like she does. Yes. Okay, December says the CERN has opened the portal to mental unrest. It's very demonic. I absolutely believe it. Okay. Al Khalifa says just walking zombies. Yeah, some people absolutely are. All right. Welcome VR says, I was thinking the same thing, Queen. Okay. Now let's listen to this, because this Black woman is going in on Black women, and she ain't talking about the Queen, but she's talking about some of y'all out here. Saying y'all really be doing too much, and y'all be talking about Black men in negative light, and then y'all are trying to raise Black men at the same time and raising the same type of Black men that you're complaining about. That's what she said. Don't shoot the messenger. But I want you all to hear this. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, I'm trying to figure out why that's not playing. Hold on, beloveds. Hold on here. Let me see if I have this in my phone. Don't know why it's not playing. Hold on, give me just a second. I'm sure I have it saved in my phone. Okay, so I'm going to just put this on the screen, and I'll let you all hear what she has to say.
Relationships and marriages more than Black men. Let's talk about it. First of all, you dead wrong, because you took Lauren Speed and their picture from her husband's birthday of her acknowledging her loving, caring person, and you made it into your own narrative as a Black woman, so that you can paint this narrative as a Black woman and get this crazy conversation going, to the point where she had to tell you to take it down because it had over 3 million views. But then you turn around and say, well, I got the views, and so that's all that let me know right there. That's all you care about. Let's talk about it, because I'm so tired of you bitter women. You women are so bitter because of the men that y'all choose. Color has nothing to do with it. If that lady found love outside of a Black man, then just be happy for her that she found love outside of a Black man. I watched the episode when they first fell in love before even seeing each other. So color had nothing to do with it. But let's talk about how the fact y'all keep talking about how Caucasian men value marriage more than Black men. First of all, I'm not going to touch bases on the racism part of it, because I could care less what color somebody is. As long as they got a good spirit, a good heart, and they treat you good, that's good enough. Let's talk about the women who want to keep their little Black sons away from their Black dads, and then turn around and say that Black men don't value relationships, don't value love, don't value marriages. Baby, you won't even let that man come get his son. So here it is, you thinking, you know how many posts I've seen this year alone that said, my son don't need no dad, my baby don't need no dad. What, Jada's sister? You just sat up there and had a baby by the 600 greasy dude and just sat there and said full blown, oh, my baby don't need no dad. So when y'all black women that's carrying these black little boys turn around and say things like, oh, well, my baby don't need no dad, what type of man you think you raising? You raising the same type of man that you up there talking about. When y'all keep getting up there talking about how black men don't do this and black men don't do that, but y'all want to make yourselves single moms on purpose. Y'all keep trying to make everybody think that being a single mom is what it is. Y'all sitting there birthing these kids, don't really got the time, don't really got the patience. So if this little black boy is being raised by a single mom and his dad is not around, where is he supposed to learn how to be a father? Where is he supposed to learn how to be a loving man? Where is he supposed to learn his characteristic traits as a man in general? His masculinity that y'all swear y'all love, oh, we need a masculine man, but you're not even raising a masculine man because you're raising him on your own. I'm not saying that single moms can't do their thing with their sons because they can, but why are y'all sitting there? Y'all are full-blown saying that y'all don't want y'all kids to have black fathers, but then turn around and complain about there's no good black men? We are so quick to keep trying to keep this division amongst the black men and the black women. Y'all want to keep trying to put us against each other 24/7, but as black women, y'all don't realize where y'all go wrong. You do realize that you are the one that's birthing the black son to begin with. And then before y'all say, oh, but the dads don't want to be dads, I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm strictly speaking on where we go wrong as women. Because a lot of y'all get mad, y'all get in y'all feelings, y'all get in y'all emotions when y'all see that the man don't want to be with y'all, or let's talk about the fact that the man said he didn't want the kid to begin with, and then y'all say stuff like, well, don't be there then. I'm going to raise my son, but then when you raise that little boy is sitting around trying to figure out, well, where my dad at? Why wasn't I good enough? Why am I not loved? So he grows up with his own emotional issues, his own detachment issues, which grows into a grown man who now is dating, and now he has no attachment to women, or now he knows how not to treat a woman because he's never seen it firsthand thanks to you. So when y'all get done talking about how a black man not in the house, how he don't value this, how he don't value that, y'all are raising the same black men that y'all talking about, and y'all not even valuing the relationship that him and his dad could possibly have. It's not about money, it's about the time spent. Well, he don't buy him nothing. He don't have to. It's a lot of things that my dad did when I was growing up that I didn't approve of. But I took time to ask my dad questions about his childhood, his upbringing, his mom, his dad. I asked my dad every question you could think of so I can get an understanding of who my dad is, where my dad came from. Do we do everything that I want him to do? No. Is he the best dad on the planet? Yes, because I love him, but I'm pretty sure he could have did better. But I respect him for who he is, not for who I want him to be, not for what I think he should be, for who he is. Y'all got to stop trying to dictate what type of fathers y'all want y'all kids to have. You laid down with him, you had him. So if you don't agree with the type of father that the man is to your kid, then why did you lay down with him to give birth to the baby to begin with? Stop trying to form what you want them to have. Let them little boys be under their dads for whatever reason, because you can't teach him how to be a man. Can y'all sit up there and compare Caucasian men to black men when y'all know that Caucasian men are already raised to be that way? How can our sons and our black men be raised that way when y'all don't even want them to be spending time with their dad? I don't see too many Caucasian women telling they, you can't get Jimmy, you don't see that. This is a thing for y'all. Y'all actually make it your business to walk around and try to carry these kids to prove that you could be a single mom. I don't see the other side doing that. So when y'all get done trying to compare and contrast the sides, look at what they stem from. They stem from a family. They stem from them letting them be around their fathers to begin with, while you walking around making posts saying, oh, my son don't need a dad. Man, girl, make it make sense.
Okay, no lies detected at the end of the day. No lies detected. Okay, she was telling the absolute truth as far as I'm concerned. Because here's the thing: a lot of these women, they absolutely do sit there and complain about all black men because they chose bad black men. Okay, don't blame all black men. Blame yourself for poor choices and bad decisions. Okay, that's how that works. Like Judge Judy said, you picked them. Okay, and all men are not the same. There's all different sorts of people. And when somebody's talking like this, they're not talking about all black women or all black men. And they're clearly not saying that all black women do this. That's not what she was saying. But she's talking about the ones that do. Okay. And then I saw somebody say that she sounds bitter. Well, I don't think she sounded bitter. I think she sounded upset. Okay. And the ones that she's talking to or talking about, those are the ones that are bitter. Okay. The ones that she's talking about, those are the ones that are bitter, because there's plenty of women. Okay, let's talk about black women specifically. There's plenty of them who will absolutely weaponize the children against the fathers. The father doesn't want to be with them. The father left them for someone else, or the father cheated, or whatever the excuse is. They get upset and they want to withhold the child, won't let the father see the child, but they still want him to pay child support, pay attention. And then they think that they're getting back at the father, but you're also punishing the child. You're doing the child a disservice. Women cannot raise boys to be men. That's what you can't do. Okay, you can't teach them how to shave. You can't teach them how to use the restroom. You can't teach them how to be a man. Okay, and to have the strength and character of a man. You just can't do it. That's what they need their fathers for at the end of the day. And that's why we have a lot of these young men who act like women. And I'm not talking about gay men. I'm talking about men who are heterosexual, who have women, female tendencies, gossiping all the time, being petty and doing petty things all the time, things that women do. That's what I'm talking about. You have a whole lot of that because they're learning it from their single mothers, because there's no father around. And if you don't have a father in the household, then who are they going to learn from? Kids learn from watching, not just from listening, but they learn from watching what grown-ups do. So a lot of these women sitting around their teenage sons or their young sons gossiping and just keeping up mess and being petty and all of that, well, that's what they learn. And they grew up to be men who do the same thing. That is just a fact. Okay, I had a friend come by my house a few years ago, and she had her son with her who was 10 years old, and she wanted to gossip. And I told her, can you send him in the room with my son? I told Reno to come and get him and let him go in there and play the game with him or something like that. Because why should he be sitting here listening to me and you gossip? Okay, why'd you even bring him if you want to come over here and gossip? That makes no sense. So at the end of the day, this is a whole lot of foolishness, and a lot of Black women engage in it. And also to her point about how some of them praise being single mothers. Yeah, they think that's a flex. At the end of the day, I told you all how my friend is a teacher, and she said that in her 8th grade class, this was a couple of years ago, said that an 8th grade girl, when she's asking the students where do they want to be in 5 years, what do they want to do later on in life, and this young girl said that she wants to have 3 kids. And then my friend who's a teacher said, well, you want to be married first, right? And she said, no. She said, if I'm married, I can't get child support from the father. That's what she said. So you mean to tell me that being able to collect child support is more important than being married and having a father in the house to help you raise your children? Well, yeah, according to her. So who taught her that? Because this is a 14-year-old child. Where did she learn that from? Likely from her own mother. Okay, likely from her own mother. So please, at the end of the day, this is all crazy. All right. Somebody said, Olaf says, why is gossip attached to women? Men are super nosy. Yeah, men are nosy. And gossip is attached to women because women disproportionately are the ones who gossip. Okay, women are the ones who disproportionately watch things like soap operas, which is nothing but gossip. Women are the one who disproportionately listen to celebrity gossip. Women are the ones who disproportionately watch reality shows that engage in gossip and drama. That's why women are attached to gossip, beloved. Men do gossip, some of them do, but those men very often are raised by single mothers and they learn those traits and characteristics from them. Okay, because real men don't sit around gossiping and keeping up mess. That's what they don't do. That's what they don't do. That is a female characteristic. That's why it's attached to females, because that's what women are known to do. Not men. When you see men gossiping, like I said, they likely learned it from their mothers. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all been said, there's another interesting video I want you all to see where this woman, Al Khalifa said, facts. My granddad and uncles never let us hang out with women when I was younger. Exactly. For what? Okay, exactly. Now, with that all been said, there's a video on TikTok where this Black woman says that her friend stole her debit card and just charged up all sorts of things, kind of just living her best life and posting stuff to social media. So she's clearly busted. How stupid can you be? So likes up, everyone, please like and share. I'm going to share that on the screen.
Guys, everybody meet Samantha Lopez, aka Scammy Sammy. This girl is enjoying a Parisian vacation that she charged to my credit card. You heard that right. Here she is again inside the actual Airbnb that she ran up on my car. Here she is shamelessly posting pictures on it. So since you care about social media and Instagram so much, it's time that I expose you for the scammer that you are. This is not what I feel like doing with my time right now. I have much better things to do, but you really thought that you were going to travel the world on my dime and be posting in live time and think that you're gonna enjoy your vacation? Yeah, no. So I have all the time in the world today. So yeah, let's get into it. Here are the receipts. And before we get started, her name is Samantha Lopez. She's based in Los Angeles, and she has a clothing line called Samantha Christine. Beware if you've ever seen this career criminal. She's on the prowl and wants to appear like she's living her best life, but really she is stealing information to make it happen. So yeah, let's get into it. I got back from my bachelorette party to go check my account. I'm like, okay, let me see what damage was done. And I see this Airbnb charge here for $871. And I was like, that's odd. We stayed at a hotel. I'm not staying at an Airbnb in the future. So what could this be? But Airbnb gives you a unique code when you charge a card. So I immediately called Airbnb. Let me back up. I first called my bank and credit card company to let them know about the fraudulent activity. They were able to shut down my account, so she wouldn't have any further access to my credit card. However, she got the information. Then I called Airbnb. Reservation that was tied to my card was obviously not in my name, so this was an unauthorized charge, and they were finally able to give me information of the reservation. So the guest name is Samantha. This is the host's name. She checked in June 26th through July 3rd. She booked a whole week, you guys, a whole week on my card. She created this like 2:40 in the morning to check in at 4 to try to be slick. He gave me the Airbnb name, and then you see the payment down there, $871.49. That sounds familiar because that's the exact amount that was charged to my card. This is the Airbnb that they are staying. Here's another listing picture. It's actually a really, really cute place. You have amazing taste, Samantha. Too bad you just couldn't afford it. And if those little balcony overhangs look familiar to you guys, it's because she is actively in real time posting from the Airbnb that she stole my information to book. Here's another photo. Mind you, you have all, like, you can see signs in here, shops. It's not hard to look up. It's not hard to locate you. And I purposely am leaving her Instagram handle out because no free promo around here. But yeah, this is her shamelessly posting her European adventure. It's very easy to look at the street signs in your guys' videos to see where you're at. How she got my information, I have no idea. But do I know this girl? Yes. We used to be friends. She used to live in Phoenix before she moved to LA and started being a weirdo. There was a prior instance where she tried to not pay me back a large amount of money. There, I got my money back and I just was not dealing with her. I have not spoke to her seen her probably about a year and a half. So that's a whole other story time if you guys want that. Moral of the story is watch out for these scammers. People really are more concerned about appearing a certain way on social media than their actual real life. Just beware of Samantha. If you know this girl, just know that she's a full-on scammer, like committing full-on credit card fraud. You have been warned, so no one else has to deal with this crap. So have a nice day.
Okay, so the nerve of her, and she pretty much told on herself. Okay, she pretty much just told on herself. Please pay attention. This is all so nefarious at the end of the day. But listen, Tupac's family, hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. So Tupac's family comes for Diddy. All right, so we're going live again right after this, beloveds. We're going live again right after this on the main channel. I'm posting it right now so I can share the link with you all. Okay, it's 12:07. We're going live at 12:15. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share on the main channel. Okay, on the main channel. I'm going to go ahead and post the link. Drop the link in the chat, and I'm up out of here. This is going to be a brief live, but we got to talk about this, honey, because I find it all so nefarious. They're saying that Tupac's family is coming after Diddy about Tupac's death. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. Hold on. Let me drop this link real quick. Moderators, please be sure to share the link. Okay, I haven't made my thumbnail yet, but I just posted the link. Let me go ahead and share it real quick. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. This is breaking news. Okay, here we go. Here's the link. And thank you, Desmond, for sending me that information. Now, that's the link to the next live that I'm going to be doing on the main channel. Okay, so let me go ahead and get out of here because this is breaking news. We got to talk about it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. I hope you all enjoyed this live. Each one teach one. This is how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace. Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got